Hello everyone, I am Tamil Kannan, Flutter Facilitator, GDSC SKCT. I welcome you all to the fifth session, which is the final session of Flutter Festival. This session, we are going to build a news app using Flutter framework. So without any delay, let's get started building with our news application. Let me show you the preview of how we are going to build the application. So final product of the application we are about to build today. So this is the final preview of our application. What we are going to build is, so this is the preview, this is the home page, these are the news what we fetch from the internet, and if I press a particular news, so it will be moved to some other page. In that page the image of the news and the title and the contents will be displayed. So this is the final product what we are going to build today. So for demonstration purpose, I'll be using a web browser for showing the output. So and for fetching the news, so I'm going to use news API, which is a good to use API source for getting news informations. So simply just navigate to newsapi.org. After navigating to it, just press sign up and get your unique API key. So after getting your API key, so this is the request that what we are going to send to the internet, and the output that and the response we will be getting from the internet is this JSON file. So in this JSON file, let us see what this JSON file contains is the status and the articles, like what does the article contains is the author, the title, the description, the URL of that particular news, and URL to the image, and published there, the content, what is the content, and etc. So these are number of articles that are available for now. So and these are the results. So this thing is what this result is all about is all articles mentioning Apple from yesterday sorted by popular publishers first. So this information will be achieved by fetched by using this particular request with our own API key and a query of Apple and from the date to date, and this is the thing. So and if we need to get all the articles of Tesla last month, so we'll be using this kind of query here. And if we need some other things like business, so if we need a business headlines from a country US, so and we can just simply call this URL and we'll be getting the response as what are the top headlines will be having, and etc. So and this is the main use of this news API, which is easy to use. So that for this project we'll be using news API as a news source. So and let's get started with the coding. Let me project the coding window. Yeah, this is the coding window, and you can see the code from left side and the output on right side. So this is a very basic, this is start of this application. I think you might know how to create a simple Flutter application. I have been teaching this from the past sessions. So in this session we'll be skipping that portion and we'll be start from the coding part. So here, so this is a very starting point. So this code results in the output that we are seeing in the right side. So and we are going to fetch some requests from the internet. So there is a package. There must be a package for getting the request and sending request to the internet. So the package is HTTP. So I'm using Visual Studio Code for adding dependency. I'm just pressing this add dependency button and I'm just typing HTTP and I'm pressing enter. So you can see this is the part where the dependencies we are using in this application are added. So here we are added HTTP 0.13.4 version. So using this package we can able to send and receive requests from and to the internet. So So for before started, we need to create the screens, right? So screens and models. So I have just created the things. I will just remove it so that we can start from the scratch. So we need to have a home page. So for that I'm just creating a new folder named screens, so it contains all the screens that we are using in this application. Within the news folder I'm just adding home screen dot inside home screen. I'm just coding the very basic of the home screen, what to say, home screen widget or etc. Like import material, then I'm just creating a stateful widget. I hope you all might know what stateful and stateless widgets are. Home screen, that's it. So I just created a simple stateful widget here, and I need to add the home screen for this. So I'm just adding home and home screen. So I just added a home screen. So when our application starts, it starts from the home screen widget. So let me save this code. If I save this code, you can see the output is being compiled here. So there is no change because I didn't add anything. So let me show a simple change here. Let me change the colors to green. If I compile this, you can see the home page is now visible. It is of green color. So for now we need to make a home screen. So let me show you the preview of our application. So in that preview you can see there is an image, large image, and before that you can see an app bar over there, like news app. So we need to first we need to create that app bar. Let us create the app bar first. I'm just removing this color. So before started we need to use scaffold. Inside it we'll be adding app bar widget. So app bar must have a title. So the title is will get text, and let me add the title as news app. So let me run this code. You can see the output as a simple app bar, but you can see the difference from this template, like news app is of black color and the app bar is in white color. So let us change the color of the app bar to white and the text color to black. Let me change the text color by using style parameter and the text style class which contains color parameter and colors to black. So I just created and I just converted the color of this to black. You can see that color of the news app will become black, and I need to change the color of app bar. So I'm just adding the color, background color of the app bar widget, which is to colors dot white. Yeah, that's it. So let us see the change. Yeah, we have changed the color of the app bar to white and the color of text to black, and you can see some bold like text here. So let us change the app bar's text to similar to the preview, like bolder, much bolder. So let me add another parameter here, which is font weight, font weight dot bold. So if I add this, you can see that the text is become much bolder. So after that, you can see in the preview, that there is a list of or to say list of articles which has a image and an title and a simple content. So this is very simple content, and so it is a list, right? So we need to have a list. So let us add a list then as a body of scaffold. Let us add a list view. So we need the contents of list view, right? So first of all, for getting the contents, we need to have an API service, so which fetches the news from the internet and converts, and we need to convert the information, that JSON, into the model what we need. So for that, let us create another folder named services, which contains API service dot. So let us create a class named API service, and this service contains an endpoint. So the endpoint is the URL what we are using to call the request from the internet. So let us create a constant string, or it be a final string, so we are not going to change it. Endpoint is equal to, so we shall copy the URL, the endpoint from the news API website. So let us copy this request here, and is simply copying it, and I'm pasting it here. So that's it. So we are ready with the endpoint, and now we need to fetch the informations from the internet. So for that, we'll be using a function which is a future, which is a return type of future. And for now, let me keep it as a dynamic, which returns dynamic type, and let us name it as fetch news. If we declare return type as future, we need to use async. So that's it. So inside this, we need to have a request. So let us keep it as a response equals, so HTTP. So before that, using HTTP, we need to import it. So import HTTP, import HTTP. So I think the package hasn't followed correctly. Let me if you are facing an issue like this, if you are not getting the package that is that you have added in dependency but is not visible in import, means just remove this pubspec.log file and just run this again pubget command, then you will be fixing that issue. Let me try HTTP. You get this. So the issue has been solved, and we need to import this package as HTTP so that you can easily refer it anywhere in the file with the name HTTP. So I'm just using HTTP dot get. So this get can requires an URI as a required parameter. So I'm just using URI dot pass for converting this endpoint to an URI. I'm just passing the endpoint as its value, and that's it. So so this is the thing. So we can use like this, or else we have some other options like retry client, so which is also helpful for getting the request from this. You can see the future of response will be returned from this get function. So let me use await here. Sorry. await here, so that we'll be getting a response as a function, response as a value for what to say, response as a value from get function. So let us check if response dot what to say code which is status code double equals the status code is of type int. So we can say right 404 etc etc. So and you can check in that use API also for now response code, if the response code not equals 404, that is we have a correct response from the internet, so without any server issues. So we'll be good to go with the 5. So if it is 404, we need to return, let us return or else sorry, I will be returning null. So null in the sense it's nothing. So after if it is we have a result. So how can we have the result is, so final JSON equals let's keep it as data equals response dot body. So this response dot body contains the string that is of type JSON. So we'll be converting this JSON into an object for our file, so that we can easily access our easily access our data from this thing. So first, the next thing is we need to convert this JSON into a model. So for that we will be creating another folder model, and I'm just creating another file named articles, or else article dot. So why am I creating article as a file name is, so you can see in this API window, you can see article is key, and after article the article is the only thing in that. So inside article you can see another kind of source. This is a source, right? So article, so this is an article, so article contains this data, this amount of data. So articles are list and these are articles, so these are articles. So this article contains source, author, title, description as a key, URL, URL to image are the keys. So for now we need only some of these keys, not all the things. So author we need author, the title, the description, URL and URL to image. So we need these things and the content. So only we need these things. We need not add published at. So if you need, you can also add this thing. Let me show you how can we add this, how can we convert this JSON into a model. So in article, we'll be creating class, which is we can say article is a data class. Article. So in article, as I said before, what are the things we need are string, title of the news. Then so let us add these things as null types, so that if there is a chance of an empty value, that will be not getting any errors. So string title and description, string description and string title and description. The next thing is author. These names can be of anything, so these names need not to be the same exact name from those keys. So I'm just adding some any random names that is easy for me to use it in our application. So next is URL, and next thing is image URL, and the next thing is content. So this thing. So let us make all these as final so that you can there is no possibility of changing the values, like final. So after that we need to create a constructor for this class article with all these parameters as required. So we have two options. Either we can create default parameter or named parameter. For now let me create a named default parameter, simple dot title. So we need to add the contents in this order. If we need to create an article object, so description. So on this dot next is author, this dot URL, this dot image URL. That's it, and we have the content, this dot content. That's it. So you can see this is the structure of our object, article object. So after creating this article object, we can call this article object here. So instead of dynamic, let me let me convert this into an list of articles. So news will be a list of articles, right? So list of articles. So it's a list of article. If there is something error, if there is an error, so which is a null type, it accepts a null type, so that if there is an error we can respond to it accordingly. So now let us convert the received JSON into an object. So let me show you the thing, what is the response we'll be getting. For that, let me add a log here. In that log, let me display the data as string, so that we can see the response what we are getting in this log window. So let me call this endpoint before everything. So here let me add a future builder. So the future builder helps us wait for the response from the internet. So the future we are adding is app API service dot API service dot fetch news. So by using this, the news will be fetched. And for now, let me return a simple placeholder. So let me run this code. See, yeah, the simple placeholder is visible, but you can see there is a response here, status okay. The response, the same response what we are getting from the what we have seen from that page, right? So this is the same response what we are getting there. So we have successfully received the response. So we need to convert this response into an usable dot object. So let us see how can we convert this. Let me remove this line, and for converting it, let us again go to the article object class, and we can use factory. In that factory, article dot from JSON, right? So this takes a parameter of the data that we are receiving. So we need as a map type which has a string as a key and dynamic as its value. Let us name it as data, and that's it. So we need to return the article, right? We need to return article. So I'm just simply adding article. So if I just add this thing, you can see this required values are added. So first let me add the title final underscore title equals data, which the data contains a key, which is a map which contains a key named title. So this key must be same as of the JSON value what we get from the response. And after that, the second thing is what we need is description. Final underscore description equals data of description. The name must be the same as the key value. And the next thing is final underscore author equals data of it is a if you have the belief that you can type correctly, you can just type it, or else you can simply copy that key and just paste it here. And the next thing is URL equals data and just URL. And another final is image URL equals data of image. See, here you can see the URL to image is the exact key here. So this is exact key. And next is content. The content is going to be content data of, so the same, yeah. So we have fetched all those values from these keys. So let me add this as which is a string of type null, and I'm just declaring explicitly the data type of the key. So it's maybe of null as string of null. String of null. So let me send the values as arguments here. So author and content. So that's it. So we have also converted. So here we have converted the received JSON into an article object. So if we call from JSON function, so it will simply convert the JSON value into the required article object. So first we need to convert the received response into JSON. So let us again go to the API service and just type final article. So the one more thing is first let me convert this to JSON. So for converting it, we need to use JSON dot decode. So it decodes the data into the required JSON file. So which is a map. So in that map, so we have let me show you the screen of the news API. Here you can see this is the response we get, and this is the key. Inside this key we have the article. So for that we need to have this key as the base, right? So this key is a list. So we in the response also we'll be getting this as a list. So what we can do is, so we have this. Let me add final JSON data equals this, and in that JSON data let me add JSON data dot else this is a map, right? So it contains articles as a parameter. So simply paste articles as a list of dynamic, so which is a dynamic list, right? So in that, after converting this list to a dynamic, let me map each value of list to, so article dot from JSON to E. So what I'm doing here is I'm just converting the so you can see the value data type as if I decode this, it will return the map value of the JSON, so that in this map, for better understanding, I'll add this as map of string comma dynamic. So here you can see this is a JSON is of type map, and the map contains the key articles, so which is a list type. So we don't know what the list contains, what data type the list contains. So I'm just adding as list dynamic, and I'm using a predefined function map. So which the main purpose of map is, so it takes the each value from this list and assigns to another type and returns as a list. So this is the main purpose. So it returns an iteratable of type T. This will map each value of this list to another type. So and returns the list of the type what we requested. And I'm just converting this to a list. And at last, let me have here is I can simply return this as also. Simply if I return this, so it is a list of article. You can see this is a list of articles. Even for a better understanding, I can use articles equals this, and I can simply return articles. That's so we have converted the JSON value from the response to the object, articles object. So the next thing here what we need to do is, so we need to convert that object into a widget. So this is the next process what we are going to do. So let us convert the object into a widget. So first of all, let us create a widget for list. So a list of items what we need. So for that, let us create a new folder named widgets. Inside that folder, let me create another file named list items. So it's contained, let it be list item dot dot. So this is the item what is seen in the list. So and I'm just importing material dot dot and a stateless widget. So if we need, we can there is no change here, right? So there is no change will be happening in this widget list item. So let it be a stateless widget and a list item. So I'm just naming it as list item. For now, for understanding, let me change the color to green, and I'm just calling it in the main function. So let me create a simple list view with children, or else let me build it. Let me call list view dot builder item builder, which contains context and index. Contains index and list type. So list item, the widget what we have created, and which takes item count. Item count, let it be 3 for now. Yeah, let me compile this code. Let us see what output we are getting. Yeah, we are not getting anything. So the reason is we didn't specify any height or things for this container. Let me clean the height as 100, and if you run, so you can see the height of the container is showing there. It's being shown here. So and this is a thing. Now let us modify this. So you can see in the preview image, like our application, which is somewhat elevated, right? The box is somewhat elevated. So for getting that elevation style, we'll be using a widget called car. This card widget provides us an elevated field, and it has a rounded edge. So for that we are using shape, rounded rectangle border as a widget as a class, and which contains the border radius. So the border radius is of type border radius dot circular. Let us circle it for 15.0 pixel radius. So after that, child takes what card takes child, and you can add a container or something. Add container here. The container has a child. So we can see the column that, because the items are mapped one by one after the other from below. So the column which contains the image. So the image. So before that, we need some we need the source, right, for this list item to show. So for that, I'm just adding final article. Article is the item we need, and article, and which is a required parameter. So this dot article. So here I need the image dot from network, and it should be the article dot image URL. So this is the thing, and the next thing is, so we can specify this as on error. So other things like that. So after that, we need some space. So for space, I'm just using size it box of height 10 pixels. Then I need the text. So the text is the article dot what is it? The author. Let's take the author, the toString, and after that the title. It also has some space. Height, it will be 8.0. Size of the text is, the value of text is title. So that's it. So I think this is not required. The main axis size dot, and you can see some error in home screen that there need some values to show here. So the builder is the news the snapshot contains. The snapshot is of type async snapshot, which is of type list of what it is. It's a list of article null type. Maybe it can be of null. And we need the snapshots dot data. If snapshot dot data equals null, we need to return some error message that send a child error message that no data fetched. So if we end up with an error, it will be showing some no data fetched error. And the next, if we have some data, the data will be final data equals snapshot dot data. So here we can add data of of index, data from this index. So that's it. The length of item count will be data of length. Data's length will be the count. So let me execute this code. So you can see some errors, like the images cannot be loaded. So this is a thing here. So you can see some images here. So this error is caused because the because those images are not supported for web applications, so we cannot fetch those images. So in case we have an error for those images, so we can solve that by using in here we have image network, and we can see uh, error builder function here. You can see error builder, so we can add the parameter error builder, so which takes things like this and return placeholder. Let us again run it. So we can see if the image has an error, we'll be ending up with some placeholders. So the image has to be of particular size, right? So we need to specify the height, like maybe a 50. So if the size is 50, you can see it is very small. So let us keep it as, for now let it be as it is. And we need some space here. We need some margin after around the widget, right? So we can add the margin like by putting here the margin inserts.r. We can add 10.0, so we can have some more space around it. So you can have some more space, and we can add padding inside it. So we can add another widget named padding, so that the space is also added inside the car. So you can see the space is also added inside the car, and we can have a rounded edge for the image also by adding wrap it image. Let's split width, border radius are circular, and it will be like around 15.0, and you can see the image has a rounded edges. You can see the image has rounded edges here. So even if there is an error, we can also show some other images from the internet. So this is the thing. Instead of showing this, we can also add some no preview available message or something like that. And the next thing is, if we press this, but if we press this, it should go to some other widget, right? So the thing is, so we can add this, and for clicking option, we can add an option like inside padding, or over this we can add like ink well. If we add ink well, and it takes parameter like on tap, and we can able to click that particular. We have provided, you can see the option like the cursor has changed it, right? If we press, you can see. So let me swap with its parent. So that we can see that we have a ripple effect also on click event. So then, and this is it. So for the second screen, we can simply add a new file. Name the second screen or details or news screen dot. The same thing, import material dot and stateful widget, which is news screen, which needs a parameter of type article, which also takes article as a parameter so that it can show the details. So this dot article, and that's it. So here we can add a scaffold with app bar as the title of the news, which is text, and article as widget dot article dot title to string, and we need text to overflow so that it won't cause some error. Overflow dot ellipse so that it adds some dotted lines after it. So in the body we can simply show the contents like widget dot article dot content to string. So that's it. So we need to invoke this class like page after on clicking this by using navigator dot push and material page root, which has a builder. In the builder we can simply return news screen with the article value. So if I simply run this code in the output, so in the output, let me press this Google symbol. You can see the news and the data and the content what we need. So and this is the code. So this is a very simple application. This is a simple news application. The code for this application will be available in GitHub. I'll be posting this in GitHub, and I'll add the link of this GitHub to this description of this video. You can go through this go through this code, and you can build your own application. We have built an web application also. If you need, you can just compile the same code into your mobile device, and you can make your application available to your users. So thanks for watching. And this is a very simple news application, and start coding and enjoy. Thank you for listening this video. Thank you all.